Welcome to another video on the channel, and today I'm completely breaking my own rule because I firmly believe if you're going to go on YouTube and stick a video out there, you may as well have a point to the video. Today I don't have a point. We were due to be cycling 200 kilometers as a group, 6 of us at 2-meter spacing, and everybody's bailed because the weather was pretty horrific, to be honest. And I thought about bailing myself, going on Zwift. And then I got a notification in my inbox that said an audiobook I'd pre-ordered was ready to listen to, and the book is called The Art of Resilience. I thought, how can I buy a book about resilience and then cry off at the first sign of rain? He says getting absolutely smashed by that puddle. So I thought, stuff it, I've got the bike ready. I've got the 35 mils on the Boca, so despite the roads being in terrible condition, I should be okay. And I thought, let's take you with me and we'll see where we end up today. Go and have a look on the Somerset levels, talk about some kit choices that I'm currently thinking about, and hopefully give you something interesting to watch for 10 minutes or so. I may have actually timed this quite well. The weather has broken a bit. There's nowhere near, well, there's no rain at all at the moment. The roads are completely drenched and I've got no mud guards or arse saver on, so I'm going to take a bit of a coating, but yeah, I've definitely hit a break in the weather. I'm being challenged already. What, 5 miles in, and it felt a bit spongy up front, more spongy than it should, even with the Redshift shock stop. And it looks like I've picked up a bit of flint in the Schwalbe. I can just see it there at the tip of my thumb. I don't know if that's going to come out on camera. I think the flint is still in there. So I've got a dart. I'm going to see if I can get that flint out and plug it. Wish me luck. Right, I'm going on record and saying these Stans darts are absolutely useless. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know I haven't had much luck with it before, actually, on a byway tyre. And the idea really is that the dart penetrates through the hole that is already there. So I'll take the cap off of this. In fact, the darts come straight off the top here anyway, but basically that bit there has snapped off inside as I've applied pressure. So it's been utterly useless and hasn't gone in at all. I've moved the flint through there, presumably that's gone down into the tyre. Oh, and the other thing is you really can't press too hard because you risk puncturing the rim tape, which is what I've also done before, rather disappointingly. So there is a limit. I'll spin around, see if I can get any sealant to properly seal that up and perhaps pump it up again, but might be onto a loser here. Wish me luck again. No such luck. I can't get the second dart in. We've ditched all the air out the tyre now. There's perhaps not enough sealant in there, or if I'm honest, I don't think the right sealant. I've been using the purple muck off stuff, and this is the second time I've had an issue where it's just not sealed at all. I've gone back to using stands on some of my other tyres, and the stands seem so much better, but they need to stick to making sealant and not these dart plugs. And some guys on Instagram told me this. They said go with CNC Dynaplug stuff, so I'm gonna have to call this a 20-30 quid mistake, whatever it was, and go back with something else. It's bloody frustrating, and you want to save the tyre. This is not an issue you have with tube tyres. You just change the tube out and the tyre rolls on. But with these, once the integrity of the tubeless system is gone, you're just left with an expensive, heavy tubeless tyre. Oh well. I think I've got a lot of kit on my bike for what is going to be a very short ride, but I've stayed dry, so there's a plus side, hey? Savage. Well, if I'm going to slate Stan's dart system, I'm going to big up another company, and that's Silica, which should be no surprise because, Christ, you pay for their products, but their products are really, really good. This is the Silica Tatico pump. I'll do a 2-minute top 2 Tuesday on it sometime soon, but needless to say, albeit it is a bit heavy, it is really, really good functionally, amazing. And it's just managed to get enough air into my tyre there to beat the outrushing air through the hole, get it back up to some sort of pressure, and I think the sealant may have given me enough to get home on now without having to take the tyre off and put a tube in. But I am going to go home and I'm going to sort it out. I'm going to take it off, have a look at the hole, see if it needs patching, and then get it filled full of tubeless sealant and blown back up. Here comes some tractors and cars. We'll catch you in a bit. I stand by what I said. The Silica pump is amazing, but it's flat already. So I've opened my saddlebag and I've got some options. I can clearly stick a tube in. I've got the little Lazine puncture repair kit here with some, it's got a boot and it's got some stickers. I might try and open it up and put the boot on, see how I get on. See if that works. The one advantage of these Schwalbe tubeless easy tyres is that despite me breaking the rim, I say this now, I'm shooting myself in the foot, despite breaking the bead off the rim, I'm pretty confident that actually it'll go back up with the Silica pump, because it's they were pretty easy to set up. Definitely cursed myself now, haven't I? Let's see how I get on. So I've learnt from this experience: top up your tubeless sealant more often than every 4-ish months. I clearly have let that run a little bit dry, so I'll definitely take a hit on that, because I think if I'd been flush with sealant, that tiny nick would not have been an issue that it has become. Secondly, in my Lazine tubeless kit, the boot works between a tube and the tyre itself, that interface, so I don't know what I thought I was going to do with that. It's not going to patch. One of the inner tube patches, I thought, oh, that might work, but it doesn't, because I couldn't clean the area, and it's designed to stick to perhaps the butyl inner tube, not the inside of the tyre, so it didn't stick at all. So hey presto, in the end I've gone with my inner tube with an outrageously long valve. It's also a 700 by 25 inner tube, more designed for my thinner tyres, and these of course are, well, they measure up closer to 37mm, so it's probably straining a bit in there to keep the pressure up, but hey, it's on. Taking the wind out my sails a little bit, so I'll probably just head back now and get that sorted, as I mentioned previously. But I said at the beginning of this video that I was taking you with me for an adventure, and I didn't really understand what the point of the video was. The cycling gods have given me something to talk about, and that is an utter tubeless fail. But if this was you know, some long day or Dax, I probably spent the best part of 10 minutes, you know, a portion of that talking to you, and it needn't have taken that long. I could have stripped off, put the inner tube straight in, pumped up and cracked on. So I don't know why I keep looking down at my bike. It's like I'm so ashamed of it. So disappointed in myself, not the bike really, because the bike hasn't done much. Disappointed in these. That'll be going in the bin when I get home, and I'm going to look into, once again, via my Instagram account, see what other people are having a lot of luck with. Disappointing ride, as you've seen, on based around that tubeless fail that I've had. Points to take away, as I'd already mentioned, the sealant was definitely my fault. It needs way more sealant than that. I've moved across to the old stands, and this one's the race sealant, which really is quite good, but you pay a bit more for it. The one that I had in there was the muck off, no puncture hassle tubeless sealant, and in fairness to it, it may have got the job done if I had enough in there, but I didn't. That was quite clear when I took the tyre off the wheel, that there wasn't enough in there. So I'm now going to take the tyre back off the rim, take the tube out, probably fill it full of that muck off. I've got about 100ml left in there, and I'm going to go to town on it, because I know that there's a puncture that I need to try and seal, and see if the sealant alone can seal it, and if it can't, I'm going to have to think again, unfortunately. You going to give me a hand, old boy? No? No, he's going to play with this stick instead. There's my hole. Let's stick that down at the bottom. It's gone silent. The pressure seems stable. So let's get it back up to 40 and have a look. It's pretty obvious now where my puncture is. And I think that sealant has sealed it. Is that now a weak point on the tyre? I don't really know. probably, but you'd be unlucky to hit exactly the same place twice. So I'm going to leave this wheel now overnight at least with that puncture in the 6 o'clock position to allow the sealant to sort of pool around it and get the best seal it can. Although if I'm honest, I think we're already there. I think it has sealed it properly and I haven't got too many concerns over that. So if you're looking at this video because you want to convert tubeless, or you've already converted tubeless and you're just interested for the sake of being interested, the points I want you to take away that I'm definitely going to take away is top up your tubeless sealant. I can't put a finger on when I last put sealant in these tyres, and I think that is what has ruined my day today. If there'd been enough sealant in there to start with, none of this would have happened. Point 2, don't go with stand start system. I think it's utterly useless, but something like the Dynaplug Racer is what I'm going to look at now. It's quite an expensive bit of kit, but if it saves you, you know, £30 a tyre, or even more if you've got a Renhurst that's up there at sort of £70–80 a tyre, you're clearly not going to want to throw that in the bin after its first puncture that doesn't seal. Probably point 3, make sure you're carrying the right size inner tube. The one I had earlier was for a 25mm tyre. It worked on a 38mm tyre, but it wasn't ideal, and it's probably in future going to be my go-to option. If I can't seal with the sealant, I will just stick an inner tube straight in and then worry about it when I get home. If you like the video, please do hit the like button. Talk to me in the comments section, especially if you've had experiences like this and come up with good solutions to deal with tubeless issues. Please do subscribe. I'm up to about 55 subscribers now, which is nice. I do thoroughly enjoy utilising my gravel bike, talking to you guys and engaging with the gravel community and road community. That's it for now. Cheers.